I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Culpy. And Chip.
This is for the big homie. Is this Ben Moen?
Yes, this is Ben Moen.
Okay. We've got a $75 partner tier on Patreon where you can get your favorite local band reviewed.
Right to the top of the list. And if you're already in an alliance, people have been wondering this. If you're in an alliance and you are not getting your song like reacted to as quickly as you want, you can jump on the $75 tier and it doesn't affect your alliance group. They'll still get their songs reacted to. This is like separate from the alliances.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That's good. That's a good caveat.
Yes.
So you got that, and this is Marilyn Manson, Irresponsible Hate Anthem. If you want one of our nifty little coolie little shirts, you can. There's a little lining thingy at the bottom there.
It's
on our
also
YouTube
in the
page.
description. Like if you're not on like a PC where you can see that. Look in the description of our videos and you will see the link to our gear.
Yes.
And if you take a picture with any of our gear and you send us the picture, you will be featured in one of our films.
Yes, you will be. So, also, for time and topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori.
Yeah, we've been putting together some cool videos up on there. So.
They're really, really good.
Yeah.
Very...
fun political stuff, which is rare for me to say because I don't usually find politics fun.
Yeah, this next round is gonna be is gonna be fun for sure. Okay, so here we go. I'm very, very excited to hear this. This is Irresponsible Hate Anthem, Marilyn Manson. Let's do it.
I think the best part is when we find out stuff when we're doing it, like on camera. On those
what do you mean?
On those Middle America videos. When
Why?
all of a sudden we'll see something like that we didn't expect, so it's not like pre-prepared, and all of a sudden we're like, what?
Yeah.
All right, ready? Go.
Is this live? This is live.
I like this.
Party artists.
Whoa.
He said nigger. I don't like the song. When did this record come out?
I do not know.
When did this record come out? Okay, so this is from the Antichrist Superstar. That's
Yes.
weird. I listen to Antichrist Superstar a lot. I didn't hear this song.
Really?
I probably did what I always do and just listen to two songs over and over again for a million times. I need to know what year. Was it 95, 96 this record came out?
I do not know.
My point is, he could never say this now.
No, I totally agree.
He could never do this song now.
Yep.
Yeah,
96.
all the SJWs would be on their steeds immediately.
Scroll up here.
Immediately. Huh?
Scroll up. I wanted to see the beginning.
The intro says, "When you are suffering, know that I have betrayed you." And all the children sang, "We hate love, we love hate."
Huh.
We hate love, we love hate.
I'm so all-American, I'd sell you suicide.
I think it's talking about America. It's talking about America and how we are.
Yeah.
How we victim blame.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Well, I thought it was kind of funny when it said right here, America could not see anything. History was written by the winner.
Right.
So, and I was like, true. Like, our history that we look at, like the perspective that we look at, like it was so weird. I remember we were having this conversation about history one time, and like I literally only saw history through the eyes of an American. And then
a white American.
Yes, a white American, right. So when we were having these discussions, all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to center you into the camera because you're fading off into the ether.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
And you're the main star of the show.
Stop it.
So
I was like, what the heck? Like, when we started talking about it, you must remember this.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I remember, but,
I was like...
You're typical.
Because I was thinking that we were right, because it was taught to us that we were right, but then, like, coming from a Christian perspective, because we're Christians, the way that America acted was not always Christian, obviously.
You don't say!
So, when you started pointing that out to me, I was like, oh my gosh, America was wrong! It was a very strange feeling.
What do you mean we interned those Japanese?
Ridiculous. We what?
I didn't tell you about that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I see what somebody else is there. And nigger is a term that's used to dehumanize people. And if you look at history in the 20th century, the Germans used Untermenschen to speak about Jews.
Yep.
We use Krauts to speak against German people. Mm-hmm. In the Black Hawk Down conflict, you call the Somalis Samis. In the antebellum slave trade, you use the term nigger, and now we use the term fetus to dehumanize beings that we know are human beings and to justify killing them. And the reason that the term nigger doesn't bother me is because it's just one in a series of words that human beings have used throughout history to dehumanize a segment of people in order to justify enslaving them or murdering them. So why is nigger all of a sudden the most forbidden word of all time? It's just one word that's used by people to dehumanize another group. To me, currently speaking, the term fetus is a much more offensive term to me than nigger is. Because it's used to they'll say, oh, we're not killing a baby, you're killing a fetus. When, here's the definition of what a fetus is. It's right there on your screen. It's an unborn human baby post 8 weeks gestation. But it's used in our current milieu to dehumanize these kids so that we can butcher them in the most barbaric way possible. So the term nigger doesn't bother me.
Right, I see what you're saying.
So, but he's right. Like if you take the term and if you take a meta-narrative perspective on it and look at, okay, what is the term? What is it used for? How does it function in history? Have we ever seen this phenomenon before? You can go back as far back as you can recall. I remember, I forgot what they called them in Grapes of Wrath. I think they call them like Hoovies or something like that. It was some word that was used to talk about poor people during the Depression. And
really?
It was a slur, and it was designed to dehumanize poor people that were living in these Hoovervilles because they were dirt poor. So That's why I've always been like.
You know what? That's even done in like on smaller scales, not just so that way you can kill somebody, but so you can not care for an entire group of people. You know, you have, oh well, they're just a druggie, or oh well, she's just a hoe. So you know what I mean? Like there's all these words that are used so that way you can just make the person seem like less, so you can just treat them in some sort of way.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, I don't care about the term, but Manson is right. Everybody is somebody's nigger, because this is one of the plagues of the human condition, because we won't love each other, and because we won't treat each other as neighbor, and love your neighbor as yourself. Because we won't do that, we end up tribalizing and then demonizing the other group, or dehumanizing the other group. So he's right there, because and then you have some people that react to the injustices that white people do, and then they call them devils and say they were made in a lab and da 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 da. So it's a universal principle that we've done this to each other from time immemorial. So that word in the context of this song does not bother me, but I don't think this is the opening track of the record. Good night. How did I miss this? But it's sad to me that in our current milieu, because he's doing some very important social commentary here. It's sad to me that in our current milieu, that if this song came out now by a white person,
it wouldn't be allowed.
It wouldn't be allowed, and all the SJWs, and it'd be mostly led by white folk. Mostly led by woke white folk. They'd all be they destroy this, and so now.
And they would say he was a racist.
They call him a racist. I said about Tulsi, she came out in an all-white suit at the debate, and I said if she was a Republican, all the woke white folks would be saying that this was like some dog whistle to white supremacy. This is how ridiculous this has become. Apparently, I'm going to save that for the Middle America episode.
Okay.
But this is where it's and this is what happens when you limit free speech. Because what's interesting is during the time of Manson, that's how I heard about him. Was all the conservative Christians were trying to silence him, and they were trying to limit his free speech. And the leftists at the time were saying, "No, it's America, it's free speech." And now it's flipped, where the leftists now want to kill free speech, and anything that could be construed as hate speech, they don't want it in the current conversation. And then here you have a guy that's actually criticizing the structures that created the negative influences of America, and it would get completely misconstrued now, because I don't even know if he can even do this song live anymore. I mean, I have no idea.
It's unfortunate because they blur the lines of hate speech and free speech. Free speech is one thing, but if your intention and it's clear that somebody is just trying to be hateful and stir people up to kill other people, and that's one thing. Like I can see like saying, okay, that needs to be toned down. But when somebody is just, you can see sometimes people are asking genuine questions, and someone can't ask a genuine question because all of a sudden they're being, now they're a racist. Or like Trump when he, that's Middle America.
No, go ahead.
Like when he's saying that it's Baltimore has, rat infested.
Rats,
It is, and that we should be taking care of the humans that live in there. And then the whole thing gets twisted around to say that he's a racist. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not a fan of the term hate speech, period. Because there's some people that we're allowed to hate. So you're allowed to call, Trump Orange Man and blah, blah, blah. You can be as hateful as you want to certain segments of our current society. No, I'm saying define hate speech as something that's deliberately incited to cause people to bring violence against a certain group of people.
Right, if you call him Orange Face or Orange Man, nobody's trying to bring violence because of he's orange.
But if somebody says, Obama's a monkey, like, they're being hateful and racist, but they should be able to say it. I don't want any limitations on speech like that. What you're talking about is incitement, which is, we've had a lot of conversation in this country about, you can't yell fire in a crowded house or movie house or whatever. So that's taken care of by that. But when you go into the realm of hate speech, now it's like that's extremely subjective.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean? Yeah. And it's obvious that not all hatred is equal. Because again, if there are people that mock Trump's weight, they mock his hair, they mock him for all these things, but if the situation was reversed, like for example, if a leftist was in office, or a Democratic, let's say Hillary Clinton was in office and she gained 50 pounds, if somebody were to say, look at this fat white broad, and they started, you're hateful, you're misogynist, da 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 da, but it's okay to do it with Trump because he's a white man. So it's like, you know, that's why I'm not a fan of the whole, to me, the whole hate speech thing is just a way, it's just a way to silence people that you don't agree with. So now it goes from calling somebody the N-word because we're adults and we can't say the actual term, to, you know, subliminals, to people actually saying their convictions. Now everybody's, it's hate. It's crazy to me. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference between, so you're saying incitement is when you're inciting people to violence by your speech, and then hate speech is other things other than that.
Hate speech is I can't stand niggers. That's hateful. You don't like black people. Okay. I feel like you should be able to say that in a public forum.
I don't think you should say that, but I think that you should be allowed to say that. You should have the right.
Now, if he says, get your guns and kill every nigger you can find,
you shouldn't be allowed to say without...
That is incitement to violence. Now, the big homie Sean King, when that guy went and stormed the ICE facility and threw Molotov cocktails and almost got those poor Mexican people killed, Sean King was saying, basically, we need more of this. That is incitement.
Okay, right there.
But because Sean King is Talcum X and he's fake black, he's allowed to say that stuff on Twitter and nobody says anything.
No.
But if we've got a white supremacist guy in the village, and you know he knows who he is. What's up, SN? If SN were to say, let's go, and you know if somebody stormed an NAACP office and burned the place to the ground or something like that, and if SN would have said, yeah, let's keep that going, he would have he'd have the FBI at his door.
Yep.
So, you know, to me it's like, you know, that's why I'm not for that stuff, because then you miss out on things like this, which is actual social commentary.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, like right here, I'm so all-American, I'd sell you suicide, I'm totalitarian, I've got abortions in my... I hate the hater, I'd rape the raper, I'm the animal who will not be himself. Hey victim, should I black your eyes again? Hey victim, you're the one that put the stick in my hand. Like, we've got the tradition of victim blaming in America, where it's always a victim's fault.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I saw this with Rodney King, and you see it with Eric Garner, where you blame the victim. And so it's like, oh, well, if Eric Garner would just have, just put his hands up and sworn fealty to the state like a good serf, then he'd still be alive today. It's all the blaming of the victim. And it's like, oh, well, why didn't Trayvon Martin turn around? So, like, you see this all the time in America, where the people in power abuse that power, they kill vulnerable people, or they take advantage of them, and then they blame the victim.
Yep.
Or they'll say, you know, they'll blame the woman because the skirt, you know, the skirt is too small, and the top has got a plunging, you know, so it's the woman's fault that she was raped. It's not that you're a sick bastard who couldn't control himself. It's the woman's fault.
Right.
And so, like, we've seen this, like, over and over. Like, this is what we do in America, where, you know, the folks in power abuse those below them, and then they blame them.
Yep.
For their own abuse.
Yep.
This line's crazy. I'm the ism, my hate's a prism. Let's just kill everyone and let your God sort them out. Woo! Yikes. What did you take from I am the ism?
Oh, I didn't take anything from that. The ending, let's kill everyone and let your God sort them out. It was just, you can tell it's the sound of somebody who's like at the end of it, they're just like, you know what, forget it. But you're saying that he's talking about America at this point. That America's saying that, or that they're saying that to fight back against America?
I think he's embodying certain aspects of it. Like, for example, when he says ism, that's a really smart line, because what ism? Communism, fascism, socialism, you know what I'm saying? And he's saying, I'm all of those. And then whatever ism you subscribe to is the prism by which you look through to hate other people.
Oh.
So if you subscribe to socialism, then you're going to hate the capitalists. And if you subscribe to capitalism, then you're going to hate the socialists. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, because America is so bifurcated in their mentality, like everything is black and white. It's either pure capitalism or pure socialism. And what made me think of this is Antifa. So Antifa stands for anti-fascism, but they have become fascists. And yeah, you can be a leftist fascist. I don't care what you say. They're fascists. They assault people for walking around with American flags. They do not believe in free speech. They physically attack reporters who say things that they don't like. And speaking of victim blaming, we had a Middle America episode where we had some Antifa apologists victim blaming the guy who had a brain hemorrhage, who got assaulted and had a brain hemorrhage. And then they referred me to this video, this 17-minute video of a guy who was basically saying, too bad, he's a bad person, da-da-da-da. Like, it's crazy, but it's hate.
Yeah.
So you have a certain perspective, you have a certain ism, so now you're going to be full of hate, and that's going to get manifested in the public square, and you're going to commit acts of violence. And so it's one of those things where it's like everybody is in their respective tribe, and now it's like overflowing in our country, and people want to blame one person. They want to say, oh, Trump has has been divisive. Hello, it's not Trump supporters that are walking around beating the hell out of people with MAGA hats. Right. Trump supporters aren't doing that. Y'all are doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that Trump. I mean, we know that in when he was running for office, he was inciting people to violence.
Yeah, and we spoke out against it.
He explicitly said it.
Yep.
He said, beat the hell out of them, and then I'll pay your lawyer fees and all the rest of it. Like, he did it, and he also, I blame Trump for the whole situation with the psychopath who shot up all those people in the synagogue. Because he kept labeling these asylum seekers as invaders.
Yes.
The caravan as invaders, and he kept using all this crazy rhetoric.
Yeah, you can't use that kind of language and expect it not to.
Well, it's 2019. We got a 24-hour news cycle, and if the guy is watching Fox News over and over again, and he sees invaders, what do you think he's going to do? You're going to get one person that's going to be stupid and going to go off and do some craziness like that.
Well, so that's why people are saying don't. You can't have hate speech and stuff like that. You can't have free speech because of stuff like that. No.
That's not the issue. Again, because if that was the case, then they would apply it across the board to leftists. Because what's her face? Cortez is calling the ICE facilities concentration camps, which they're not. And the idiot went out and got his M4 and his Molotov cocktail to liberate the concentration camp. So. It's happening on both. It's happening. Astaghfirullah. But it's happening on both sides where you use this really inflammatory language so there can be no middle ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you have a middle? If you're like, okay, so patriotism, right? If you're a patriot and your land is being invaded, what's the only patriotic thing to do? There's no middle ground with an invasion, and by extension, if it's a concentration camp. What would a moral person do but go and liberate the concentration camps? If it's that extreme, unless you're a complete pacifist like me, people are going to say, well, you're not going to say that the Allied soldiers were wrong for invading a concentration camp and liberating it. So you use this extreme language, all these extreme isms, and you make it impossible to negotiate with the other side. So now people are mad at Tulsi, and there'll be a Middle America episode on it, because Tulsi won't come out and just slam Bashar al-Assad and say all these terrible things about him. And I know what she's doing. She's thinking, when I become president, I'm going to have to negotiate with this guy. So I'm not going to have a 30-second sound clip where I slam the guy and tell him he's horrible and all the rest of it.
And have to try to work with him.
Exactly. Yeah. So she's going to be able to say, look, I've been neutral about you from the beginning. I have interests, you have interests, let's talk. But because she's trying to cut that middle ground, they're trying to go after her and say she's a foreign agent and all the rest of it.
Wow, okay.
That's where we've gone in the country, is the rhetoric has to be so divisive and everybody wants to blame the other group. Like, right-wingers have done it, left-wingers have done it. And we're at the boiling point in this country right now.
Well, there's so much, too, with social media, because, you know how you have people say stuff in comment sections that they wouldn't say to people into their face?
True.
So I think that it's made
Very,
us
very true.
expect that sort of extreme language all the time when that's
True.
not what people do when they're trying to work together.
Right.
Like, you don't do that at your job. You wouldn't have your job if you did.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Or a family.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, you know, like there are a lot of things where, you know, we can meet in the middle. I am for open borders. Mm-hmm. Because I believe that that's what the Bible says we should do. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to say that a person who is not, most people, left or right, are not for open borders.
Right.
I'm not going to say that a person who is against open borders is horrible and hates Mexican people and is a nasty, evil racist. Like, I understand why you don't want open borders. And the only reason that I'm for open borders is the Bible. So if you are a right-winger and you're like, come on, we're a nation of laws, which was a phrase invented by the Reporter-in-Chief, Barack Hussein Obama, I'm not going to go, oh, you hate people. Like, but that's what's happening right now. Like we cannot acknowledge, like, okay, like, I understand why you're saying that. I get it. Can we come to the middle and figure something out together? You know, but it's either you hate Mexican people or you don't care about national security.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable, you know, and that's why I only reserve, you got to be very, very careful about extreme language, you know, and so, you know, and I only reserve it for really one topic, which is abortion, which is backed up by the science. We know that a fetus is a human being. We know it's a human baby. And I'm not a fan of killing babies. And I don't think most people are fans of killing babies. And that's the reason why they continue to retreat to the term fetus, because nobody wants to deal with the fact that we're dismembering babies in utero.
Right. Right.
So even on that perspective, the very fact that pro-choicers will not use, you know, common language terms when it comes to this topic indicates that they're not cool with killing babies either. That's why they have to fight like mad to say fetus, fetus, fetus.
Right.
Because they're not good with killing babies.
Right.
But
Say that's not what fetus means when you read them the actual Webster's dictionary.
Sadoct. So you know, I mean, there's a sense in which the pro-choicers and us actually agree. It's just one of us is pretending and using word games, and the other one of us is saying, well, let's see what the actual science says.
Right.
Okay, then you're pro-killing babies. Period. End of story. Like, there's no way around that. But aside from that topic, I mean, right now in this country, it's getting really, really, really crazy right now. And so I can imagine, I think he's incarnating a person watching TV and watching what's happening in our country and just being like, there's no hope here. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way for our country to come back together. You know, I was watching the debates a couple days ago, and they were asking the candidate what they're going to do to heal the racial divide in America. And I'm like, that is not the job of the president. Like, what in the world? It's not their responsibility to heal the racial divide in America. It's our responsibility to listen to each other. Like, the president is not God. He's not a king. He's got a 4, max 8 term. Well, I don't know, because Biden is going to be the president in 3033 apparently, or something like that. They're going to cryogenically freeze him, and he's going to come back to
30330. God help that man.
You know, Dorian started out as a Biden fan, and then he
oh, really?
Yeah,
he spiraled out there.
He spiraled out.
No.
Spiral out. Keep voting. Yeah. This is a really, really, really good song, and I'm happy.
Said I wasn't born with enough middle fingers.
Yeah, because you know, it's like, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, I agree. It's crazy to me. This song was written in '96. It is more relevant now than in '96.
No, true.
That's how you know a song is good.
Yep.
Because this song is, we hate love, we love hate. You know, like the outrage culture. Like
yes.
Trump said that the man's place was infested with rats. I mean, it is infested with rats, and it is infested with crime.
That means black people are the infestation.
And there are actual documentaries that talk about rats, and there's the mayor who walked through the city and said to tear the whole city down and was calling on Jesus to help her.
Because of the smell.
Because of the smell. But Trump is a racist for saying it. People just love to be hateful. They just love it. Love it.
Ridiculous.
Love it. It's absolutely
insane. Because if you weren't trying so hard to hate Trump, I mean, we want free Medicare for all. So don't think that we're huge Trump people. But like, if you hate Trump so much, like, it's obvious. Like, you're so busy hating Trump that you're not caring about the people of Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like, these people, so much money's been sent down there. Where's the money?
Yeah. No human being would want to live there.
Right.
Somehow it's construed as racist from the guy that lived there and moved the minute that he.
Right.
But it's
went to college.
But the media again is perpetuating this culture of hate. Mm-hmm. You know, oh, Trump's a racist.
Yeah.
What do you give it? It's a 10 for me.
10 for me as well.
Good song, Manson. Good job, buddy. I'll give you a ghetto pass, buddy. If you're ever walking through the hood, I got you. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.